Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Filthy Builds. This time I'm finally doing, you can't even probably see it sitting out there, doing some work on the big truck. It's out of the shed for the first time in a very long time. I've got the F100 off there last night, bit of footage for that. Coop's down on the ground over the other side there. I did a bit of cleaning up, moved some stuff around. I've got some new parts I want to add to the truck. Those boxes there, a pair of very cool headlights I want to look at. Recon brake booster, there's a master cylinder there, some vacuum lines, just some stuff I want to put on there, roadworthy type stuff. But for now, I'm going to move these around a bit more. I want to sit the coupe on there, on the back of the big truck. I'll explain why in a minute. And so I need to get that up on the hoist in the truck, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Let's get these moved. Couple of things. It's currently about 33 degrees Celsius, which I mean, we get a lot hotter than that, but it's the first time it's been this hot in a while. And I've got the doors open, the aircon off. Yeah, it's cooking a little bit, moving these things around. The truck doesn't actually have any foot brakes at the moment. As you saw earlier, the booster is on the bench over there. The master cylinder in it is cooked. I currently have nothing connected to the brake lines under the truck, so I'm using the very, very good park brake in this thing, which is, if you know these trucks, instead of like a foot one or a hand lever, it's a big upright rod next to the shifter. That and reverse in this one, it's stuck in low gear, I believe, so it's very, very jumpy when it jumps into gear, and then it just idles. But the clutch, it's got a lot of pedal, but it only works in the last inch or so. So when I'm backing it through this doorway over the lip on the concrete, I'm sort of juggling the park brake, a little bit of clutch, the manual steering, and that thing sitting above it. So it's probably a dumb idea that I'm doing all this. I'll take that, but there's reasons behind it. The reason I want to put the coupe on the truck, apart from the fact I just want to see it on there, I've always wanted to see the car on there. I want to get some ideas of where the diff sits in relation to the car, how long the car is. I want a visual of it. The main one is I'm now going to measure the couple of points on the tray to the ground. Then I'm going to drop the coupe on it, which has the engine, trans, diff, everything. It doesn't have a bonnet, no interior. No radiator full of water, so a couple hundred kilos missing off it, but it's very heavy. It's close to its weight. So I want to sit that onto the truck, see how low the truck drops, and then I can look into the spring packs in this thing, because this has got so many springs in it. The reason it sits at that rate is it's designed to carry 4 or 5 tons plus on the back of it, and I'm never going to carry that on it, I don't think. So if I can get it sitting a bit more level, then I can work out the tray on this thing, if it's having a beaver tail, how low it's going to sit, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I really want to see the car sitting on it. So I'm going to measure some stuff now, but the other thing is when I drive it through with the current tray, I've mentioned it before, I've got about 50 mil each side of the tray to the roller doors. If I had big sliding doors, I wouldn't have a problem, but the roller doors, I never thought I'd be putting a truck this size in here, so I never thought of it. The car trailer is very similar as well. It's really, really close, which you'll see shortly with what I'm doing next on the truck. But anyway, I'm going to put the coupe, I'm gonna measure some stuff, put the coupe on it, measure it again, drive it outside. I don't know why, just take some videos and then pull it off and start working on the truck. So with the weight of the car on there, fits quite nicely. This back corner was 1300 from the top of this piece here down to the floor. 1.3 meters, 1300, 1270. So the tray's dropped 30 mil, and that's at the furthest point. In the middle, it was 1250 down to 1235. And over here we've got 1190 to 1180. So 10, 15, 30 mil. So the whole truck's just dropped ever so slightly with the weight of this thing sitting on the back of it. So you've got the main spring pack down here, and then you've got a massive spring pack, short overload spring pack sitting there. I'd say there's quite a few leaves in there that don't need to be there in this thing. You can see that gap there is large. So I'm thinking if I can take some springs out, close up that gap with building a lower deck. Like you've got the timber here which stops rubbing, and when everything's flexing, that's sort of a spacer. It's kind of a cushioning spacer. It sort of allows for, you've got a fairly solid deck, and then you've got the chassis rails that flex when you're driving over things. So it allows for that, it takes up that. Then you've got I think it's 100 mil there, then another 100 mil here. It doesn't all need to be there. Again, with the weight I'm going to be carrying with this, it doesn't need to be that overkill. So if I can take some springs out of it to drop the chassis down a little bit so it sits level, or mostly level, and then build a deck that'll take a lot of that space out there just by dropping the chassis rail down to more level, and then building the new tray to suit that gap. That's going to take all that out of it, which is considerable. I think at the moment the coupe, I'm not even going to try, but the coupe won't fit under that shelf like the truck does, because the truck's on bags as low as the F100. This one isn't ever going to go anywhere near that shelf, trust me. But yeah, if I can get some of that out of it, that space there, get it sitting nice and low, that'll make it easier if I put a beaver tail on it as well. It'll be, instead of the back of the tray up here, I have a beaver tail on it, and the back of the beaver tail will be down here instead of it here. It'll all make more sense later on. But I'm going to take this outside and get some photos and video. Have a look at this thing. Stoked seeing that sitting on there. Super happy with how that fits on the back of it. I've measured from the backside of the headboard to just behind the rear tires there. That's if I'm putting a beaver tail on it, I want that much flat before I go to the ramp. So I've just measured that, allowing room for a winch in front of the bumper and spoiler, and sort of worked out how much of a beaver tail I'd need on it, about 700mm beaver tail on the back there. But you can see the gap between the tyre and the tray there, what I want to take out of it. So it's going to make a considerable difference. I'll get rid of that big tall headboard as well. But now I've sorted that, I've sussed all that out, I'm going to try backing this back in the shed, getting the coupe off on the hoist, and then I'm going to take this tray off this truck and see if it fits on my car trailer. I had to get the truck all the way in the shed, coupe's outside, doors down, and it's just, for doing this stuff, it's just too hot for me. So the tray, I want that off, I'm not using it. I'd have to modify it too much for what I want to do to fit the cars. There's a lot of, like this piece here, there's a lot of stuff that needs a lot of work on it. It's a shame because it's the original tray from this truck from back in the day. It's a little bit sad for keeping the truck complete, but pretty much it's no good to me. And I mean, there's still some, on the other side, there's still a little bit of pinstriping on these bits, but the headboard behind the cab there, that's, you can see the bow in that, that's pretty trashed. The whole thing, the deck itself, the timber is beyond no good. So I can't really modify it to suit what I want to do without way too much work. Whole thing is covered in surface rust. It's just yuck. So I'm going to cut the, you can see there's U-bolts underneath there. Well, I'll have a close look in a minute. There's 3 U-bolts each side. The guards have got to come off, and there'll be, there's like a trailer plug on the tail of it, the back edge. The numplate's got to come off. The wiring I'll just cut because I'm running new wiring front to back from the cab back for tail lights. But the, yeah, it's a shame again, but the tray is no good to me. So I'm going to lift this off. Hopefully I'll do that quickly and easily, hopefully easily. Get the truck back outside, out of the way, and get the car trailer in here and try and sit this on the car trailer. It's the right length, the car trailer, for moving this thing. I've just got to sit it up above the guards somehow because it's the same width as the overall width of the car trailer. And then tomorrow morning when I get back from the gym, I'll hook that trailer up and I'll take this to the scrapyard. I feel bad saying that, but yeah, it's the only real thing so far that I don't want on the truck, that's no good, that I can't use, that I can't keep original. But yeah, I'll cut this off. There's kind of a tow bar made out of a leaf spring on the back, a seized up spare wheel carrier, a couple other bits I'll cut off while I'm there. Yeah, I'll get that out of the way and then I can look at the rest of the truck underneath, cleaning all that up. But for now, that tray, it's got to go. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've got no idea what's going to happen here. I'm hoping the hoist just lifts this straight up and everything works perfectly first time. Main concern is I've got a bit of weight on the front, not too much, but with that headboard, I'm going to lift it really slow and see if that moves forward or tilts or anything. I'll go slow, see what happens. Hopefully it's just uneventful and it comes straight off. Next day, back out in the shed. You can see a bit of daylight up there. It's currently 35 degrees outside. It's supposed to be a high of 39 today, so I'm doing as much in the aircon as I can while I can. On top of the shin versus trailer incident last night, which you would have seen on the video, which has swollen up quite nicely and it's quite painful. This morning at the gym, I jammed my finger between two large dumbbells. It's a bit hard to see there. It doesn't look that bad on camera, but Jesus, it hurts. I'm feeling like a bit of a pine cone, a bit of a peanut, but in the wars. But anyway, the truck. I've got the guards and everything on the ground over there. I'm going to load those up in the Colorado, hook the trailer up and go to the scrapyard. I want to take this tow bar attachment off. Yeah, it's an old leaf spring. I'm not sure how that worked. I guess it took a bit of a shock out of the trailer hitting the brakes, so I don't know. But I want to take that off. That bracket there, which is trash, and those two brackets up top. Just get as much of the old steel, the rusty, shitty, unusable stuff. I want to get that to the scrapyard all in one go so I don't have stuff flying around in my shed. Might take a few other bits off here and there, but that's this morning's goals. These tail lights. They're cool as I'm saving those. So I'm back from the scrapyard. Tray is now gone. Now that the tray is off, I've been distracted by measuring for the what I can do with the tray on this with a beaver tail. The National Heavy Vehicle Guidelines say I can, for you guys that follow or watch the videos by Home Built by Jeff, who's doing his Franken hauler, F600, 54 F600, he's been talking about this as well. You can have the overhang past the rear axle is, you're allowed 60% of the wheelbase. So this is a 176-inch wheelbase. I'll double check that. That's 4.4 meters, just over 4.4 meters. So 60% of that is 2.65 meters, 2650. So I can have 2.6 meters past that axle. Plenty of room for the tray. The car, I measured when the car was sitting on the tray yesterday, just behind the back wheels, the flat I want is 4.2 meters and then maybe a 700mm ramp. That's plenty. Measuring that on here, the wheels, the back wheel is just past center of that. So I'm not sure aesthetically if that's what I'm after. I'd love to move that back just a little bit, but then I've got to drill out these rivets, move this, put a longer tail shaft in it. So I'm still thinking about that. But again, I've got way ahead of where I need to be right now. I got to concentrate on cleaning this up first before I do anything like that. Putting guards on it, getting it rego. So I've got the step off. That's where the brake booster lives. I'm going to wire brush under there with the grinder and wire brush, clean all that up, and then paint that section of the chassis, because once the booster's in there, I don't want to have to work around that. So I'm going to clean that up and paint that now and hopefully get that booster in today. I'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's the next step. Before any of this other stuff, that's more important. I just keep getting distracted. But anyway, brake booster. How are you going, Ben? Tell me what you're up to, Ben.
Swapping this out for a Willwood.
Wood?
Yeah.
6-piston front end in the F700.
100%. And very surprised. They're not badly seized, these bolts.
That'd be because Barry pulled that cylinder off about 3 times when we were up in Borough, trying to fix the thing so he'd drive it home.
That makes sense. Well, that had a nut on it, that one.
Had.
Yes. It's in the floor now.
I've got Benny pulling the original master cylinder out for me, because he's really nice like that. You're not getting my floor dirty, are you?
Hey?
You're not getting my floor dirty, are you?
Oh, certainly am.
You know, Barry made this look really easy.
Well, there's Barry now then. What does it say?
So what are we doing here, Benny?
We are seeing if we can farm fix getting rid of this brake line. We probably won't have anything to put in the hole because I don't have my plug kit.
What happened to your plug kit, Benny?
It fell out of my ute and smashed everywhere.
Oh.
And then it all got thrown on a bench for a future Ben problem. But once I get this brake line out, then that's going to be a fuel problem.
Copy on the fill problem. So what we're doing is, this thing here is a trailer brake controller that we've pulled out of the truck. Surplus to requirements. So we're just cleaning up the engine bay, getting rid of all this surplus stuff. But with the single circuit master cylinder, that's been feeding this as well, so we don't have the block for the single circuit focus. So for now we're just going to crimp up this brake line, do a bit of a home job until I can get a proper replacement one. We'll just run the single circuit off it. Are you going to leave that wire trapped behind the cylinder on the other side there, Benny? Or?
Yeah, that's the new earth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Can't find the hole. There we go. I don't know why I come here and get abused all the time, mate.
All the time. This is the first time you've been to my house.
Exactly, so 100% strike rate, Phil. God.
I'll leave you with that, and I'll come back later
Thanks, mate.
when you're done. You winning?
So I'm ready for fluid.
Sweet. So Benny's just finished putting the push rod back onto the pedal for the new master cylinder, and that's ready for the bleeding. All the vacuum hoses are all done, and I've just finishing up putting the breather line in for the booster under the truck there. I've just got to attach that underneath, and that'll be the brakes good to go. What are you stealing?
Looking for your brake fluid.
Uh-oh. What you doing down there, Ben?
Fixing F trucks. And not my own.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
The horror persists, but so do I. So we've got all the brakes bled, they're all working really, really well. Lots of pedal feel. We're just having a go at the clutch pedal while we're there. Well, Benny is.
You're like Mr. Hollywood, eh?
Me?
Yeah. You haven't done any work yet.
Look at that oil down there.
There we go. Give that a shot.
So the collab no one asked for. So the truck's got brakes again, thanks to Benny. And a clutch that works. Now there's everything else. Back out in the shed, back on the truck, I'm going to continue cleaning these frame rails. So it dried down overnight in the shed. It's looking a lot better. It probably doesn't look that great here, but most of the the farm dirt, the stuff the dust that falls in your eyes every time you breathe on the chassis when you're working underneath it. That's all gone. It's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to take it back out and annoy the neighbours with the wire wheel on the grinder and get the crusty stuff off. Take a few things off. The little bits here that are welded on, these extensions, I'll show you those after. I might cut those off today as well. Give me a bit more room in here. But yeah, I'll get this thing outside. We'll have a quick look at the chassis rails and go over those, and then I'll get this outside and start cleaning up. So it still looks pretty average now. But in these cross members here, that was just solid caked with dirt all through the rails, was all caked. You couldn't even see these the small airline in here. I've cleaned up around here. The stuff that's on here now is stuff that blew off the rest of the chassis when I was cleaning in there, but it's again, it looks all rusty and crappy, but it's actually quite good. In here was just solid dirt. So now that's all gone. I'll wire brush everything and let's make it a lot nicer to look at. These airlines I'll pull out today as well. I think they are the trailer air brakes, which I won't be using. And I've taken all that stuff out of the engine bay or the engine side of the trailer braking. I thought this was pretty cool though. Original PBR hoses. It's a PBR, they make the brake boosters and everything for these things from new. So yeah, all the vacuum unit for the trailer brakes and the brake controller, that's all gone. We've taken all that out. New vacuum lines or hoses, proper vacuum hose, all through there. But anyway, let's start grinding this stuff up. I think that's enough of the power tools for today, for the neighbour's sake. Clean the outside of the rails, underneath the rails, part of inside, the tops of the cross members, some underneath, top half of the diff housing. The parts I just cut off the end of the chassis there, you just saw me cut off. See, this isn't factory rail, this has been added on at some stage. This is where that leaf spring tow hitch attachment thing was bolted on. So someone's lengthened the chassis to fit that under the back of the tray. A little bit of a little fish plate added on the inside there. But the so this is factory rail. I've just cut past the weld. The weld was not bad on the outside, but there's been a lot of weight on the back of it here and causes cracking. So that was this last bit here. I'm more than likely going to be cutting a bit more off for the ramp when I work out the length. So that just gives me more room to walk around the truck and the shed. So that little clip there, that whirring noise, bit of a clunk. What we're looking at there is the 2-speed splitter on the rear axle on the diff. So these things, I spoke about this in the video where I brought the truck home, when I drove it home, and I was talking about its top speed is 75 k's an hour, and I really hope it's stuck in low. These have got a 2-speed diff. So over the 5-speed gearbox, there's on the side of the shifter there's a little red Mad Max switch. That's the splitter control for the diff. So that gives you 10 speeds over your 5-speed gearbox. So basically when you're changing gears, put your foot on the clutch, flick that switch, and it goes from high to low. So 4 high, 4 low, that sort of thing. Nothing was happening with that. So I was thinking there may be an issue with the wiring or the actual diff, which I was hoping wasn't the case. And I was also hoping it was stuck in low because, again, top speed of 75 kilometers an hour, 2-hour drive home was very painful and makes me very apprehensive about driving it to when it's got a back on it and I'm towing cars around, going to any event. Driving down the highway 75 k's an hour is not ideal. But I found out, I had a look under the dash, just curiosity got to me, and I had a look at the fuse panel because a lot of the fuses were missing when we were first looking at the truck, and I think that was partially due to being a farm truck, lights aren't that important, tail lights. But all the tail lights were rusty, so I assumed they were blowing fuses, so they've just pulled all the fuses out. Everything's sort of loose there, the fittings and everything. The circuit breaker for the 2-speed diff, it's actually got a circuit breaker instead of a fuse. That's just sort of hanging out in the air with the wires connected, but it's not actually attached to anything. So I didn't know that was for the 2-speed diff. I wasn't actually sure what it was because it was just hanging out in the air. I thought it might have something to do with the headlights being a circuit breaker. But I put power to one of the pins on that, one of the bolts, studs, and heard a whirring noise. So couldn't pick where it was coming from, but there's only a couple of things on this that can make noises like that. So I set the camera up there to record it. And yeah, that's where it's coming from. So I've flicked it into high. I've got it in high at the moment, but I know the splitter works now, which is awesome. And I'm probably just going to leave it in high. I don't have any tree stumps to pull out or any cars to pull out of swamps or anything. So don't need to tow start any tractors. So I don't need low in this thing. But yeah, be interesting to see what it does. But it's just another thing that's just ticked off. It's just an easy, not that it's fixed, but it's something now I know works and I don't have to chase up. So yeah, it's a win. That'll be it for work on the truck for this video. Huge thanks to Benny for coming over and spending a day playing with this thing with me. Time is a huge commodity for Benny with running his own business, his young family and everything, so I really appreciate him coming over and spending some time doing this and hanging out with me. Much appreciated. We got a fair bit done, got the back off, cleaned a lot of that up, pulled a lot of stuff that we're never going to use again out of the truck. New brake booster, master cylinder, clutch adjustment. I've done a bit of cleaning up in the cab, just tidying up and taking the bug antenna clearance lights off the roof and a few other things. And I've got a bit of a plan together what's coming up next. I wanted to get the headlights done this video, but all the headlight wiring needs upgrading, and I want to do those and the tail lights all in one go. I'll probably just do a video on that because the lights I've got are pretty cool, and I want to go over those because I think that'll be a good thing for a lot of you guys playing with these old cars. Next up on this, I've got to do the lights, put some guards on it, make a bit of a rear bar for it, tires, so I've got to pull the wheels off, take those and get the tires done. At the beginning of the video there was a white parcel bag thing on the bench That's a new windscreen seal from Classic Pickup Supplies up in Queensland. So I've got to order a new windscreen for this or get that put in. They're the same all the way through bump and dent side F100s, I believe. So it shouldn't be too bad getting a windscreen for this, hopefully. And there's a bunch of little stuff I've got to tidy up, fix the driver's window, just bits and pieces. But I've been driving it around up and down the driveway, thrashing around in the backyard, and having brakes makes a huge difference, believe it or not. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with what I've achieved on it this time around. I always wish I could have done more. Yeah, so that'll do it for the truck for this video. I'm talking to PWR about a heat exchanger for the coupe, and I've got the fuel cell I'm after won't be ready till January. They won't be back in stock till about January, I believe. So there's things in motion for both of these vehicles at the moment. The F100, that's probably going to be a little bit dormant for a while I concentrate on this and this. I should only be doing one at a time, but content-wise, both are cool. And if I can get this truck registered and usable, then I will be driving it around and doing stuff with it while I'm working on the coupe. But yeah, thanks again to Benny. Thanks for new subscribers. Thanks for everyone for checking out the videos, and hopefully I'll get another one out real soon. Cheers, guys.